Hello. Hello. Oh, look at that little boy. We'll wait for everybody to join. Hello. Hi. Say hi. Hi, Joe. Hi, Robin. Hi, Courtney. Hey, Suzanne. Hi, Loomis. Hi, Taylor. Hey, Melinda. This is our new little boy. Yeah, he kind of does not look real. I'll wait for everybody to join, and then I'll give a little background on him. So let's see if we can get some more light in here. Is that any better? There we go. There we go. That's a little better. All right, I'll try to go slow so Boonies can see. Whoop. Hi, bud. Whoop. All right, hi everyone. So this is a new kitten I just got home with. Everyone put on your patience pants. I'll talk about what's going on. So he is a 4-week-old boy. He is a koala. That's what I said he looks like, a koala. He's a baby koala. He is 4 weeks, 2 days old today. He has hydrocephalus. And he is half Siamese and half, I don't remember the other name. I think it starts with a B, but honestly, I don't know a lot about breeds, so I just forget the name. No, not Burman. No, not Burmese. You're all saying Burmese. That's not it. No, not Burmese. I don't remember. I have it listed. No, not Bengal. Mac, what are you doing? Mac is here trying to be nosy. So, no, he doesn't have anything. He doesn't have CH. Oh, look at his little yawn. He just has, oh my goodness, Mac, what are you doing? Mac doesn't even like kittens. I don't know what he's doing. He just has hydrocephalus. So let's talk a little bit. Balinese, that sounds right. Balinese. Yes. I have never heard of that before, but that's what it is. Half Balinese, half Siamese. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about So hydrocephalus happens when there is too much cerebrospinal fluid produced in the brain. So what happens is the fluid builds up in their head and they get this sort of, let me take them out so you can see. They get this very classic large forehead. You can see. And you can see how his eyes kind of go down. Those are called sunset eyes. Those are the very classic signs and physical attributes of having hydrocephalus. Yes, Tate. Tate has hydrocephalus. So looking at him, he very, very obviously has hydrocephalus. So what happens is the reason that he's kind of falling over and his head clunks down is because of the fluid buildup in his brain right now. He basically has a lot of pressure going on with that fluid, and his head is very heavy. So for a 4-week-old kitten, and the amount of muscle that he has, his head is honestly just too heavy for him to hold up. He just doesn't have the muscle to be able to hold up this big heavy noggin. And the other thing that happens is the fluid presses on the cerebellum back here, which is the part of the brain that affects balance. So that is the reason that you see him not really be able to keep his head up. And what it really indicates, especially when you look at his balance right now and the status of his eyes, you can tell that, he does have a lot of fluid build up there. So the first part of treatment that we're going to get him is to get him to our neurologist and get him on some medications that will hopefully start reducing this fluid in his brain. That's the first step. So my plan is to get him in early this week to Dr. Glass, who is Tate's neurologist and Kenna's neurologist, and Harmony's neurologist. He treats a lot of our neuro kittens, and we'll get him started on some medications. So it can be painful. They can get headaches from the fluid buildup. It can definitely be uncomfortable and painful. So, we need to try to get that fluid reduced as much as possible. He is only 4 weeks old. I don't have a scale in here, so I can't get his weight yet. He's very tiny. So he's not yet a candidate for a shunt. He's just not big enough yet. There's not really a lot more they can do other than start him on medication right now. So we have to do that. Whether he is a shunt candidate or not is something we need to wait and see. That's not something that we know yet. As he grows and he gets bigger, and he can undergo anesthesia, we would get an MRI, and that would determine how severe his hydrocephalus is and whether he is a shunt candidate. So look at that face. So we don't know if he will be shunted yet or not, or if he will need a shunt or not. We try medication first. Some hydro cats live their whole lives on medication and it's managed just fine. And other cats like Tate need to be shunted. So we just don't know yet. This is a very tenuous time. Things can go wrong very quickly. We're talking about a very fragile part of the body, the brain, and that fluid buildup can cause him to crash suddenly. So this is a little scary bit of time here. If you guys were around with Tate, you know that up until she was 9 weeks old and got the shunt, she crashed a lot. She was lethargic at times. She needed to have her brain tapped twice, where they physically removed fluid from her brain using a needle. And so, this is definitely a very guarded period of time right now. Of course, I'm going to do everything I can so that this boy survives, but this is really kind of the scary period. And once we can get this fluid down, we should not see him have such trouble holding his head up. We should see him be able to stand a little bit easier. Like I said, this is all of him falling over and not being able to hold his head up and stuff like that. That's just because he does have too much fluid in his brain right now. So we got to try to get that down, right? We got to try to get that down. What a cutie. I do not have a name for him yet. I have a list of names, and I have not decided on a name yet. Tomorrow we have a snowstorm coming through, so I won't be able to get him to the vet tomorrow. But we can look at either Monday or Tuesday for sure, getting him up there. Yeah, we always hope that, he can do as well as Tate's doing. Tate is 6 years old now and doing remarkably well. So that's what we want for him. He was being bottle fed. He's not eating on his own just yet, so I'll continue to bottle feed him. I have a playpen set up over here in my bedroom. So I am I'm going to keep it in there at night. I have a heating pad in there, and I have a litter box. I don't think that he uses a litter box yet, but I have it in there anyway. And I'll just be giving him lots of snuggles. So I'm totally in love with this boy. I think that he is just, how I love my hydro kittens. Let me get his head here. You know how I love my hydro kittens. Such a cutie. I know it can be kind of hard to watch him struggle with his balance and keeping his head up. I know that can be difficult to watch, and hopefully we'll get to see some good improvement over the next couple weeks. So, I gotta admit, I'm worried. I'm encouraged by the fact that he, seems somewhat alert. He holds his head up and he's awake, and he's not totally lethargic. That would be an emergency. Um, he's been eating for his owner, and bottle feeding, I mean. So, we have some good things happening that, where we can keep optimistic. He will certainly have one of the best neurosurgeons in the country that will be taking over his care. He certainly wants to move around. Yeah, he does seem determined. So that's all, very good signs. Oops. But I can see where you might mistake him for a CH cat, because he does lose his balance easily. So the mystery, you guys wondered where I picked him up from. I picked him up from Queens. Cindy came along for the ride. We made it there and back safely. Yeah, I was in Queens, New York. That's the first time I'd ever been to Queens. It's so much more suburban than I expected. I didn't realize that we were like driving and going through Brooklyn, and then all of a sudden I'm like, Cindy, we're like in the suburbs. But yeah, that's where I picked him up from. So I just love him, though. I think, he's like exactly the kind of kitten that is up my alley. Yeah, he's a Jersey boy. He's no longer from New York. He does have some big paws. Let's see your little face. Look at your little face. Oop, and then your head. Oop. Oop. Wyatt also had hydrocephalus. His was not very severe, but he did have hydrocephalus. So I'm a little hesitant to talk about siblings and his mom, because I know this is gonna upset some people. He came from a breeder, so he does have siblings who are normal and have homes, and then the owner has the mom who's the Balinese or whatever it's called, and the dad is Siamese. So that sucks. I had offered to help, was hoping maybe they would take me up on an offer to get the cats fixed, but no such luck. So that is unfortunate. Yeah. But I will say they they weren't quick to discard him. They have, brought him to the vet, had him diagnosed. They care a lot about him. They've been bottle feeding him because he wasn't, he's too wobbly to nurse from the mom successfully. So, they've been bottle feeding him. They took very good care of him, and, for the first 4 weeks of his life here, and reached out for help when they realized, that he was more than they could care for. So, he's nice and clean, he doesn't have fleas, he's well nourished. They took good care of him. So yeah. So yeah, it stinks, that he came from a breeding situation, but at least we're not dealing with malnourished, bad environment kind of situation. Whoop. Whoopsies. All right, I think I'm gonna end this live stream. I want to get him back into some heat, and I'll need to think about feeding him soon. But thanks, you guys, for all the ones who stayed up late to meet him. And I don't know if anyone actually did set their alarm to wake up, but I hope it was worth it meeting him. And I hope that we can have some good news over the next couple weeks with him. All right. Say good night. Okay. Thanks, Boonies, for the CC. All right. Good night, everyone.